What it do, bruh? Talk of the town, Nintendo, Doc Trey, still holding it down, still make the best games, and you know this, bro. It's the truth. You don't like it, you can have that seat though.
Alright, so IGN just put up a great interview with the team behind Donkey Kong Bananza. And in this interview, we find out that Donkey Kong Bananza actually started its life on the original Nintendo Switch. But what if I told you that that's actually a good thing? So before we get things started here, we're still on the road to 20,000 subscribers. So if you're into Nintendo Switch 2 content and you're not yet subscribed to the channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Let me know what you think about the video in the comment section. And of course, if you like the video, hit that like button. So very interesting interview that IGN put up with the developers of Donkey Kong Bananza. I'll post the link in the description so you guys can check that out if you haven't already. And first things first. So they're discussing the development and the team working on this game, and something interesting that a lot of people didn't catch. So there's been debates back and forth onto whether this is the Super Mario Odyssey team, or if this is worked on by someone else, or if this is just part of the team. There was a rumor that there was a split where half of the Odyssey team worked on Donkey Kong while the other half worked on the new Mario. Well, this interview actually sheds a little bit of light on that, and I haven't seen anyone actually reporting this. So it said, seeing a young Pauline and knowing that you all worked on Super Mario Odyssey, I start to think story-wise this is maybe a Super Mario Odyssey prequel. Is there an official Donkey Kong timeline? Is there a canon timeline that explains where all the Donkey Kong games go? Now, Takahashi says, certainly, because a lot of team members also worked on Odyssey. Keyword, a lot of team members also worked on Super Mario Odyssey. There are some similarities in terms of how they think about the setting of characters for both games, but it's something we really can't explain all for now because we need to leave something for people to consider as they're playing the game. So Takahashi points out that a lot of team members on this game worked on Odyssey, implying that this is not, like I said before, the full Mario Odyssey team. And it looks like that rumor of them splitting into two teams is valid. So those people that were trying to say, oh, see, you were wrong, actually, maybe not have that seat. And like I said in the other video after that direct, even if I was wrong about this, I don't care. This game looks amazing. But like I said, it looks like I was probably right, so continue that seat. Now, for the main purpose of this video. So in this interview, we find that Donkey Kong Bananza was actually in development originally for the Nintendo Switch. Now, here it says, was this game best suited to release on Nintendo Switch 2 as opposed to Nintendo Switch, or both? And it says, so basically, it says, so this game originally began its development cycle on Nintendo Switch 1, and at the time we were still using voxel technology. So they're telling you that even when it was being developed on the original Switch, it still had the destruction mechanics that it does now. It's just at a smaller scale. It says, so we were still using voxel technology and thinking of lots of different ideas for applications. But when we learned about the Switch 2 development, we realized that the best implementation of these ideas and technologies would be on Nintendo Switch 2. So this is interesting here because they said when we learned about Switch 2 development. Judging by this and judging by what they said about Mario Kart World, it looks like this game may have been in development as long as Mario Kart World. Because it says when we learned about Switch 2 development. Going by the Mario Kart World timeline, that was around 2019, 2020. And the director of this game actually did not work on the original Mario Odyssey. The director of this game was hired in 2020 and comes from Square Enix. Or Square Enix. Enix. As Player Essence says it. How does he say it? Square Enix. Square Enix. Anyway. So, yeah. So, this is actually a good thing, though. Because if this game was in development that long ago, it means that potentially this game could have, not saying it was, but this game could have been finished for a very long time, which makes the chances of a new Mario title, a new 3D Mario title, not that far away, because a lot of people, when they heard that this was at least a big part of the Mario Odyssey team was working on this game, people were wondering, like, well, where does that put the 3D Mario for Switch? Are we going to have to wait years and years for the next 3D Mario on Switch 2? But after reading this, maybe not. Because if this game was in development and started its development around the same time as Mario Kart World, this game could potentially have been done for a long time. Remember, this system was supposed to come out a long time ago. So, and you guys have seen how Nintendo will sit there and sit on finished games for a long time until they're ready to send them out. And there's a possibility that Donkey Kong Bonanza could have been one of those games. For all we know, this game could have been done for over a year. And like the interview says, they said that a lot of the Odyssey team was working on this game, not the whole team. So, yeah, maybe 3D Mario isn't as far away as people will have you believe. Remember, it's going to be Mario's anniversary. It's Mario's anniversary this year, so who knows? Don't expect a 3D Mario game that's released this year, but with this new information that's come out, maybe the game isn't quite as far away as a lot of people would have you believe. But anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments section. Like I said, check out the interview. It's very interesting. That's why I didn't read the whole thing here. But let me know what you guys think in the comments section, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Square Enix. There it is.